Oh my goodness, I never thought I'd be saying this, but this is the moment where I chant Vive la France, because this is a strong reminder of the good old Renault utility vehicles. Just take a moment and look at what they've done to this entire Renault Master. Let's take a moment and appreciate the exterior. The front is absolutely stunning. It reminds me of the 1980s Renault utility vehicles, like the Renault Magnum. Well, I believe the Magnum was released in the 90s, I'm not sure, but the first generation Renault Master also had this front design. It had a very sharp edge design as well. But the badge was tiny on the first generation Renault Master. Otherwise, if we look at the front, it also reminds me of the Renault Saviem vans. Whereas if we look towards the side, it looks as if they played it rather evolutionary thanks to those hubcaps. But then upon closer inspection, you see differences start to emerge. There's more a round edge of the design, especially over here, whereas the previous generation was all boxy. From this angle, there's something a bit Nissan-ish about it. I don't know if it's just me, but it reminds me of something Nissan builds. Yeah, but it doesn't surprise me, because Renault and Nissan, they have a wonderful alliance, and oh my goodness, their alliance is going places. But then there's something about this particular design right here that reminds me of the Renault Trafic of the 90s as well. Towards the rear, we see they've played it evolutionary with this Discovery-like design right here. And I call it Discovery because I know the Land Rover Discovery also had this. So it's quite interesting. Thank goodness Renault maintains this identity. They actually had it since the second generation Renault Master. Now let's just take a moment and appreciate this interior. There's something a bit hilarious. This steering wheel will remind you of something you've seen in a Renault Clio or something. And this gear stick as well. But then as you look at the rest of the interior, it looks like a Renault truck. I mean, look at this. This entire area tilts towards the driver's side. That's amazing. But then at the same time, come on, the steering wheel could have been more interesting. Although the steering wheel is wonderful to hold on to, which brings me down to a very big question. Will it make the Mercedes Sprinter sleepless? Well, the reason I ask this is because the Mercedes Sprinter has become everybody's favorite choice. Ask the logistics company, ask the ambulance, ask the fire department, ask everybody on the planet. They all love the Sprinter, except me. You see, I respect the Sprinter, but I don't love it. Now, before we go further, I would just like to talk about the potential competitors of this Renault Master. So we talked about the Mercedes Sprinter. It's beautiful to look at, it's reputed, it's great quality, but then its price tag is a different story. Don't forget, it's a Mercedes, so the Mercedes badge is also part of the price tag. The Volkswagen Crafter is directly related to the Mercedes Sprinter. Well, at least that used to be the case. Now they've changed the design completely. It's all sharp edge. It has a generic look to it, if I'm going to be honest. Volkswagen Crafter is basically an oversized Volkswagen Transporter. Well, at least that's what it looks like these days. The Ford Transit has one of the best driving comfort, and also it has an interesting design from certain angles, but then also it is selective. It's just not on par with the Mercedes Sprinter, but it gets the job done, right? Then you have the Stellantis vans. So the Peugeot Boxer, the Citroen Jumper, the Fiat Ducato. These vans are just cheap to afford, and that's it. There's nothing really special about them. Now, believe it or not, this Renault Master actually has air vents right here. Listen to the door sound. Now, traditionally, the Renault Master was always a front-wheel drive van, but a rear-wheel drive configuration was always available with the twin wheels at the back. Now, this kind of configuration is on the upper spec. This is for Super Duty versions. But because this particular version is a front-wheel drive, you get acres of volume at the back. Great. Now, if you can, please get the option of having a wood paneling on the side and down here, because the metallic exposure, whilst it looks nice at first, it will get dented easily. So yes, you have to be careful in long terms. Now, looking at the interior of this Renault Master, it is absolutely stunning. So it's like a truck basically, because they made this whole area tilt towards the driver. Now, this is a bit unusual. This is completely new from my experience with the other vans. But then, to be fair, the Iveco Daily also had this feature. They had this interior tilting towards the driver. But when it comes to other vans, none of them have this feature, so this is cool. Now, there's no additional pocket down here, but you get this huge lump of plastic for some reason. I think that's supposed to be for the components for your wireless telephone recharge and your charging ports right here. But you get this glove box right here. Oh, it's a drawer, just like the Renault Kangoo. That is so cool. And there's a 12-volt socket right there. Wow. Shallow storage space over there. Now, I hope this is... No. No. Oh, come on, Renault. What is this? I think this is for your airbag, but it looks like it can open. Let me see. What's this? Oh, okay. Additional storage space up here. You even get additional storage space right here. Wow. And even additional storage space over here. But then be careful, because if you put something bright over there, it will reflect onto the window and it can be distracting. And like all vans of this segment, you get additional storage space right above. This is very handy, very practical. And the lightings over here, they came with the triple lights. That's very cute. Under the seats, you get additional storage space. And you can fold down the middle seat so that you get additional practicality, like 2 cup holders right here. And then you get this tray right here. Well, this can be like your notepad. And there's something over here to hold your files in place if needed. This is very handy. But look at the quality of this plastic. I mean, look at this. Oh my goodness. And if all the cup holders over there are occupied, just use this cup holder right there next to the window. Now, on a hot day, just don't leave your drink right there, because the sunlight will get to the drink right there and it'll get warm too fast, and it's going to have this greenhouse effect. The infotainment system is exactly the same as what you've seen in the Dacia brand and in other Renault models like the Renault Saviem. And then over here, basic climate controls. Let's just take a moment and admire how premium looking these mirror controls look. And look at this. This is so nicely organized. The door has organized practicality solutions. Look at this. Little pockets above, a deeper storage space down there, and you even get storage space over here. Everything seems organized compared to my experience in the Stellantis vans, like the Opel Movano, the new one, or there is also known as the Fiat Ducato. If you are looking for a large van with a rich history, a rich reputation, and something that is proven, this Renault Master is for you. This is one of the best large vans I've ever seen. Everything is nice. All the dimensions are great. The design, the history, the French pride. This is something I failed to notice in the Stellantis vans. In fact, to be honest, the Stellantis vans are starting to show their age, because all they've been doing is facelifts lately, not anything special. Whereas the Mercedes Sprinter, let's face it, it's beautiful, but at the same time, a bit overrated. Everyone loves the Sprinter for some reason. Volkswagen Crafter, it's basically an oversized Volkswagen Transporter. Otherwise, under the skin, it's basically a Sprinter with the same mechanisms, if I'm correct. At least I know that used to be the case. Ford Transit, oh boy, the Ford Transit is the only threat against this Renault Master. The biggest potential. But then, to be fair, if you want my opinion, I have one thing to say. Vive la France! I love this Renault Master. This is one of the best Renault I've ever seen in years. Thank you so much, France. Thank you so much, Batilly, the area where the Renault Master is built. That's basically where the factory of the Renault Master is. Thank you so much, everyone. I love it.